Let's start with the worrying and slowly work our way towards the kind of knockouts that make the referee consider throwing in the towel before the fight even starts. The walkout. Most fighters enter the cage with a mix of nerves, adrenaline, and maybe even a little fake confidence. Alex Pereira, he walks in like he's already seen the ending. The slow, methodical steps, the war drums echoing through the arena. That dead-eyed stare that doesn't just say, "I'm here to fight," it says, "I'm here to collect." And then the arrow fires. This isn't just a signature move, it's a ritual, a declaration that his opponent has been marked for destruction. But Jamahal Hill, he thought he had the perfect counter. As Pereira let his imaginary arrow fly, Hill caught it, snapped it in half, and screamed like a little girl. In that moment, Hill didn't just break the arrow, he scheduled his own knockout. Let me take you back to UFC 300. Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Hill with 12 wins, 7 knockouts, 2 losses, standing at 193 centimeters and weighing 93 kilos. A former champion, a heavy hitter, and a man who had no idea what he just signed up for. Before the fight even started, Hill had already lost. He thought snapping Pereira's arrow was some kind of psychological warfare, some alpha move to break his spirit. But what he really did was lock in his spot on Pereira's highlight reel. Then the fight started, and Hill made his second mistake, a low blow. Not just any low blow, a full power, field goal level tumbling. The referee jumped in, ready to give Pereira time to recover. But Pereira didn't want it. No break, no hesitation, no complaints, just pure vengeance loading. 2 seconds later, boom, left hook. Hill's legs gave out like a cheap folding chair. Before he could even process what had just happened, hammer fists started raining down. The ref had seen enough. Fight over. The fight was short, but the lesson was clear. You don't break Pereira's arrow. You just make sure it hits you faster. The ice-cold killer mindset. John Strickland could talk his way out of a hostage situation, then immediately start another one mid-sentence. And in the build-up to this fight, he was in peak Strickland mode. He called Pereira overrated, laughed at his emotionless stare, and made it his personal mission to humble this fake Brazilian samurai. Then, fight night came, and suddenly, Strickland had the quiet dignity of a man about to meet his maker. Let me take you back to UFC 276, Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland. Strickland with 25 wins, 10 knockouts, 3 losses, standing at 185 centimeters and weighing 84 kilos. A relentless pressure fighter, known for walking forward like a Terminator, but with a podcast microphone strapped to his face. But from the moment Pereira entered the cage, Strickland's usual confidence had a glitch. No trash talk, no mind games, just that dead-eyed stare. The kind of look that doesn't say, "I'm here for a fight." Rather, "I've already decided your fate." But Strickland, still cocky, still smirking, still talking. Right up until the moment he made the worst decision of his career. He tried to outbox Alex Pereira. Big mistake. One left hook, one perfectly placed sleep button activation at the canvas. The fight lasted barely 2 minutes, and the man who never shuts up, completely silent. Alex Pereira didn't just knock him out, he hit mute. The Shin-Splitting Legkicks. Every fighter has that one weapon that makes them different. Exactly what I'm talking about. Those quick, weird kicks that most fighters can't handle much of. This isn't just a kick, it's a factory reset for your lower body. Pereira doesn't just land calf kicks, he voids your warranty on walking. Fighters don't just slow down when he lands one. They start wondering if wheelchairs come with sponsorship deals. Let me take you back to UFC 295. Alex Pereira versus Jiří Procházka. Procházka with 29 wins, 25 finishes, 3 losses, standing at 193 centimeters and weighing 93 kilos. A wild, unorthodox striker with endless cardio and a chin made of reinforced concrete. Predictable movement, mere. Against Pereira, it just meant more targets for his personal shin demolition project. From the opening bell, Pereira's game plan was brutally simple. Turn Jiří's legs into mashed potatoes. Every time Procházka stepped forward, Pereira greeted him with a calf kick. And the result was instant regret. Leg swelling, immediate. Footwork, deleted. Pain, unmeasurable. By round 2, Jiří's movement went from wild samurai to drunk uncle at a wedding that's trying to play guitar and standing on a table with one leg after 17 tequila shots. His balance was gone, his stance was breaking, and Pereira was now lining up the kill shot. Then came the moment Pereira had been waiting for. Boom. One left hook, a savage ground and pound sequence, and Jiří was flat on his back, blinking at the ceiling like he was waiting for divine intervention. Moral of this topic? When Alex Pereira starts chopping your legs, he's not just slowing you down. He's making sure that the only thing carrying you out of the cage is your corner, the chin that refuses to crack. What do you do when you land the cleanest punch of your career and the guy in front of you just refuses to go down? Fighters have thrown everything at Alex Pereira, and he just shrugs it off like a minor inconvenience. At this point, doctors shouldn't be testing him for concussions. They should be running durability tests on his skull to see if it qualifies as a national landmark. And if you think I'm exaggerating, just wait until you see what happened when Israel Adesanya landed a nuke on his chin. Let me take you back to UFC 281. Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. Adesanya with 23 wins, 15 knockouts, 2 losses, standing at 193 centimeters and weighing 84 kilos. A precision striker, a former champion, and a man who makes knockouts look effortless. And then he met Alex Pereira, and something weird happened. Round 1, Adesanya lands the shot, a flush right hand, perfectly placed, full power. The kind of punch that shuts the lights off instantly. 99% of fighters, out cold. Pereira, his legs disconnected. His body briefly reconsidered its life choices, but somehow he stayed standing. No panic, no desperation, just a quick system reboot. Some questionable leg movement, and back to business. And what did he do after nearly getting sent to the Shadow Realm? Oh, nothing much, just casually knocking Adesanya out instead. By round 5, with the belt slipping away, Pereira turned into a horror movie villain. He trapped Adesanya against the cage and started throwing nukes. A flurry of punches froze Izzy in place like a buffering video. Seconds later, the ref had to step in. Adesanya had everything lined up. The power, the speed, the timing, and yet somehow he was the one getting saved by the ref. And here's the crazy part. This wasn't even the first time. In their second kickboxing fight, Izzy had Pereira one clean shot away from unconsciousness, until Pereira flipped the script and knocked him out instead. Hurt Pereira and you don't finish him, you just make him more dangerous. So when Adesanya landed that perfect shot at UFC 281, everyone thought history would repeat itself. It did, just not for the guy they expected. The precision sniper striking. A reckless puncher is dangerous. A sniper with knockout power? That's a nightmare. Alex Pereira doesn't just hit hard, he hits exactly where he wants. No wasted movement, no unnecessary flurries, just calculated violence. His opponents aren't just fighting against his power, they're fighting against the man who lands with terrifying efficiency. And if you think I'm overselling it, just look at what happened when Pereira made his UFC debut. Let me take you back to UFC 268. Alex Pereira versus Andreas Michailidis. Michailidis with 13 wins, 7 finishes, 4 losses, standing at 180 centimeters and weighing 84 kilos. A well-rounded fighter with decent grappling, hoping to turn Pereira's debut into an embarrassing wrestling clinic. And for a while, it worked. The first round was 5 minutes of Michailidis desperately trying to keep Pereira on the ground, holding on like he was trying to get the takedown bonus directly deposited into his bank account. He wasn't striking, he wasn't threatening submissions. He was just surviving. Then came round 2. Pereira calmly walked forward, fully recharged, fully focused. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't throwing random shots. He was waiting. And the second Michailidis tried to step forward and reset, boom! A perfectly timed flying knee straight to the jaw. No windup, no wasted movement. Just cold, precise execution. Michailidis collapsed like he got hit with a sniper round. The ref barely had time to react before Pereira followed up, sealing the finish with pinpoint ground and pound. One strike, fight over. And that's the danger of Pereira. He doesn't swing wild. He doesn't throw just to throw. He finds his moment. And when he strikes, you don't get a second chance. Because when Pereira locks onto a target, it's not a fight anymore. It's a countdown. The Pereira hook. The punch that ends careers. Every fighter has a signature move. Something they're known for. A slick jab, a nasty uppercut, maybe some flashy spinning kick. Pereira, he doesn't do flashy. He does finality. The left hook. Just see for yourself how Thomas Powell's body reacted when Pereira's left hook introduced itself. Let me take you back to LFA 95. Alex Pereira versus Thomas Powell. Powell with 4 wins, 2 knockouts, 3 losses, standing at 185 centimeters and weighing 84 kilos. A tough, confident prospect. Excited to test himself against a kickboxing legend. Brave? Absolutely. Prepared? Not even close. From the opening bell, Powell actually looked good. He was loose, moving well, tagging Pereira with jabs. He even had Pereira backing up at one point. And then he made the worst mistake you can make against Pereira. He got comfortable. Pereira just stood there, still, hands low, zero emotion. Powell saw an opening, stepped in, let his hands go. Boom! left hook. Make better choices than Powell. Subscribe now before it's too late. Powell's entire system crashed. His arms dropped to his sides. His brain locked out before he even hit the floor. Pereira didn't even follow up. No need. He just walked away before the ref even realized the fight was over. Because that's the true power of the Pereira hook. But wait, if you thought Pereira was scary, you haven't seen the legend who didn't come to play games. He came to collect souls. Watch this.